Let me ask you who you think your audience is.
Well,
Are they, a certain age group?
yeah, I think my audience is probably musicians, and especially as I saw last night, a lot of the people that were there were musicians. So,
Yeah.
so maybe like the sort of, well, especially around the friends circle.
Yeah.
So people who appreciate music, people who appreciate funk,
Yeah.
people who appreciate the live element that the music has. So I wouldn't imagine there'd be an early teen audience.
No.
And I wouldn't imagine it'd be the sort of over 40s, apart from cool over 40 people.
Yeah, that's right. Look,
Yeah.
I know from the people that come down to the bridge, and there are a couple of them over 40,
totally.
and they absolutely love you.
That's very true.
So,
That's very true.
I don't think it is an age group or anything
No.
that would be your audience. There are people that appreciate good music and great singing.
Yeah, definitely. People who love live stuff.
What do you see as your future? Let's go 5-10 years into the future.
Okay.
What's Natasha Stuart going to be doing?
I would love to be. I'd love to be just doing original music all the time, and maybe depending on if there's Sunday gigs happening.
The occasional Sunday gig.
The occasional
Right,
Sunday gig at the bridge
with the boys.
Yes,
yeah,
that's
okay.
right. I'd love to be doing stuff overseas as well. I'd love to be doing shows, and I mean, ultimately, that would be my dream, to be able to tour internationally with my band and just.
Management?
Yeah, I'd like to get some management.
Yeah.
I think that would be helpful.
That way you can focus on what you love to do.
Exactly, because especially the last couple of months, it's just...
Well,
I'm just coming back into a writing headspace now.
It's difficult to, as we said before, it's difficult to do all things at once.
Yeah.
Like all the promotions and all your own management. But it actually gives you a great idea of what you want.
Yes, definitely.
Your future, 10, 15 years. Will you be constantly doing albums even if you don't have record company support?
I think I'll constantly be writing. It would really depend on how much money, I guess, is coming in and how much I can afford to put into it.
Do you have a plan with this CD? What's the plan?
The plan is I'd love to get management with it as well. Okay. So selling it at gigs, getting more gigs, and I'll send it out to a fair few managers and get them. And also through MySpace, I've had a few little bites from overseas. Just nothing major, but just a musician here and there. So I'll send some CDs over there and just see if they can pass it around as well.
Yeah. And maybe the idea of selling your CDs and putting the money away to do more CDs.
Absolutely.
Okay,
absolutely.
Great. Have you always been a goal setter? Do you do projects, or you just? I know this is a big project. I can see you've spent a lot of time and energy in this, but have you always been that, or have you always let the flow come along?
I think it's been up until sort of the last 2 years. I had been just going with the flow. Just going from gig to gig.
And was it a major change for you to go, I've got to do this now?
Yeah, it was, because I think I'd been hoping the whole time that someone would just go, you're really great, here's a record contract.
This is amazing. That's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone hopes that will happen, because you do hear the stories, but it's... It
just doesn't happen.
No,
well, it might do.
It may do, but it's not likely.
Are fame and fortune important things to you?
You know what, it's not. The important thing for me is to be able to pay my band really well, to be able to continue to afford to make music and to live well. So if I think there's, with a certain amount of success, there would be an increased level of visibility, which I think I'm okay with. I think I'm fairly grounded. That I'd be able to cope with everything. So
I got a feeling that you, as long as you can sing and do more singing and write your music, etc., you're going to be happy for the rest of your life, whether you make it or not.
Absolutely.
All right. Look, the one last thing that I'd really like to ask you about is the MySpace thing or internet thing. Do you have your own web page, or is it just the MySpace?
Yes, I do have my own web page.
NatashaStuart.com.
That is correct.
And do you get hits to that?
I actually don't know how to.
Oh, okay.
Check
I'll show
out
you how to do that
okay,
later.
that'd be fabulous.
But do you have? What about your MySpace site? Do you have many hits to that?
Yeah, I think I've got like 3,500 or something. So that's all right in a few months.
Amazing.
Yeah, and the songs have been played a lot, which that's the really exciting thing.
How do you think that MySpace or your web page is going to help you in your career, via punters or by sales? Do you think it will? And I want you to approach this question with this in mind, that the networking thing is huge, but is it amounting to anything?
Absolutely. The one thing that I've really noticed from MySpace, more so than my website, I get lots of feedback. People say, "Oh, cool website, blah blah blah," but that's kind of the extent of my website.
Yeah.
Whereas people will, even friends will send me a text message going, "Oh, are you gigging down at wherever?" And they've seen it on MySpace, and these are people that are friends of mine.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of people turning up to gigs who would...
You've met on MySpace?
Yeah. And I also have other people who've seen me at a different venue, and they've gone to someone that maybe would go to the Bridge Hotel, and then they've checked out my MySpace.
Yeah.
And they'll turn up at Parramatta or in the city or wherever and go, "Oh,
right.
You know, I wanted to see you do the next thing." So
when we do another interview, I want to find out how the album sells.
Yeah.
If it sells on MySpace, because it'd be really interesting to see what goes on there.
Yeah, totally.
Your MySpace site is myspace.com/
/Natasha Stuart.
Great. And there's a link on my site anyway, and I'll put it on the end of the video.
Yeah.
Natasha, thank you so much for coming
worries,
along. You were amazing last night too. I really did. Oh, it was so great to sit back and watch you sing.
Oh,
After being beside you for so long. And you are an amazing singer and an amazing talent. And I'd be surprised if nobody does just pick you out of your little life and make you a star, because you are incredible. So thank you very much for coming along here.
Yay!
I really appreciate it.
No worries.
Natasha Stuart.